So our Minnesota Vikings are 14-2. And man, I've been saying it for the past couple of weeks. All I wanted for Christmas was the Minnesota Vikings to continue to win and make sure week 18 meant something. Now, let's get into my reaction of the Vikings Packers game. I'm going to cue the intro, so let's get into it.
We in our Skol state of mind. We analyze how you play the line. Purple and yellow, we on the grind. D was the host and he's taking time. With expert opinions, we moving dominion. If passion is in you, then let's go continue. Make on it just like a stadium venue. The topics we serving them just like a menu. We in our prime, high stepping. You feel the scene like it's cold peppers. Harder like Carter, but keep it smiling. Like this was the catch number 1,000. The show you gon' love it. You better tell your mama, cousin. The internet's talking and buzzing. So pull up a chair and just grab a drink. About the Vikings, tell us what you think. Cause we in our Skol state of mind. We analyze how you play the line. Everything purple and yellow, let's take it up a level. Start the show, yeah, it's time.
Welcome. And thank you for tuning in to the Skol State of Mind podcast. As you already know, I'm your host, D Woods. And if this is your first time tuning in to this podcast, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you will be alerted when I go live or drop any kind of new content. Thank you. But all that said, everything's out. Let's get into it. The initial thoughts. The Minnesota Vikings beat the Green Bay Packers 27-25, making the clean sweep of the Packers. Man, this shit feels good. Man, coming into this game, like, I was a little confident because the Vikings had already had their way, with the Packers beginning, the beginning of the season, right? So I just kind of felt like, this game was a test for our Vikings because it's like there's a lot of chatter going on, what's going on with Sam Darnold, this and that. But I kind of felt like I really wanted to see the Vikings take control over their own destiny and just, stick to business and basically keep stacking wins, just win by any means necessary. And I was actually live through the game and I was, making some points about saying like this team, you can see this team coming together and gelling at the right points. And this team has basically learned how to play complementary football and they are becoming a complete team. And what I mean by them coming a complete team, I mean that if you look at the wins, the losses, just how this team has played throughout this season, there's games where the Vikings have basically the offensive juggernaut against teams. And then there's games where the defense steps up. There's games where the special team steps up. All facets of this team has been able to step up when needed for the Vikings to win games. And I really, really am excited for like what the end of this season is going to hold. Also, the Packers, they need to win this game because it's like they're both clinched for the playoffs. So basically it's all about seeding right now. And I really feel like the Minnesota Vikings proved the point to the league, the national media, all the naysayers that, look, we just beat the Packers twice. We not a fluke. Stop, talking about when is Sam Darnold going to turn into a pumpkin. All that stuff doesn't really necessarily matter because the Vikings, in my opinion, are starting to win by all means necessary. And that's all I pretty much want. So let's break down, the offense, the defense, different coaching decisions, how the special teams played, injuries, top performers, and everything like that. That's basically what this video is going to be about, just takeaways and breakdown. So this is one thing I really wanted to go in first is my defensive nitpicks, right? Now, this is not something to where I'm saying like the defense played bad because I feel in a whole nutshell as a whole, the defense did play relatively well. But my nitpick about the defense is it just seems concerning sometimes to where the Vikings have a lead, and I think like the Vikings get into maybe a prevent mode, or they just it looks like they want the opposing team to eat up the clock on their end with their offense, and the defense is just like as long as they keep them in bounds, that bend don't break mentality type, keep them in bounds, run the clock, whatever, right? Um, it's just a little concerning to me because I feel like some teams actually know how to, you know, properly, get through that and get their points that they want without draining the clock. So, this is just a nitpick. It's not like a really big concern because just like I said before, I feel like the defense did have a good game. This is just something I just wanted to talk about, have a little nitpick about. But for the most, defense played good. My offensive breakdown is basically like this, though, right? Like, I really enjoyed at the end of the game how the play calling went with Kevin O'Connell basically leaning on Cam Akers to basically finish the game on the ground. I mean, Sam was the magician in the pocket today. He had that one pick. It is what it is. Just like I said before, you can't get mad at interceptions when you're basically hunting downfield. Picks are going to happen. But I really like the fact that Kevin O'Connell allowed the running game to close this game out. Like that's something I've been wanting to see. I think something was going on with Aaron Jones at the end of the game. I mean, it is what it is. We'll probably see something on the injury report, tomorrow or whatever. It is what it is. But speaking about news right now, so the Minnesota Vikings will be playing against the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football. Just got to put that out there because I just got through watching, JD5 and the Washington Commanders. Sam Bradley was on. Just got to put that out there. So I mean, that's just my offensive breakdown. We're gonna get into top performers and all that stuff later, but I gotta say this right now. Special teams is beginning to be a concern. I mean, yes, Real Reichert made some of his kicks, but he missed two. And I'm not sure of what's really going on with him because this kid was money beginning of the season. I'm not sure if the injury that he had on his leg is, starting to continue to linger. I don't know, but this is something we have to monitor as Viking fans because me personally, I don't want to go into the postseason and have a shaky kicker. I understand that John Parker Romo is basically on the practice squad with the New England Patriots. If you have to poach him and bring him on your active roster and basically move some things around, I think that might be a security blanket going forward because it's just something I really can't put my finger on it. It's just something doesn't look right with Will Reichert. It could just be one game, but I'm just saying we all know how the kicking is as a Viking fan. We do not want to wait to the postseason to come down and we go home early because we're missing kicks. But this is just something, we have to monitor straight up. So let's break it down with the top performers, right? D Woods top performers of the day. So let me bring it up right here real quick. All right, there we go. So I just want to give you guys that accurate stats. Feel me? Like nothing over the top. Just be accurate with it. All right. So top performers, you already know I'm about my boy Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had a hell of a game today, and I really enjoyed his, post game interview with Tom Brady. That was something to watch. So our boy Sammy D threw for 33 for 43, 377 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That boy balling, man. I know we're not supposed to talk about this, and it's the let the offseason play itself out. But damn, Sam Darnold has really priced himself out of the Minnesota Vikings. the way he's playing, like he should be in contention for MVP. In my opinion, he should be the way he's playing. I think it comes down to what Saquon does, next week, or what Josh Allen does, or maybe even what Lamar Jackson does. But I just think like Sam Darnold should get some kind of MVP because the way he's playing, this team is 14-2, and the Vikings wouldn't be here in this situation without Sam Darnold. So, running game was kind of a disappointment to me. You guys already know how I feel about the running game. Now, I gave it to Cam Akers, talk about the offensive breakdown and basically him closing the game out. But the running game, man, like we got to do a lot better. We got to do a lot better. But let's talk about the pass catchers right now. Justin Jefferson, man, that catch that he had at the end of the game, that one-handed catch, in my opinion, some might not agree with me, but in my opinion, that was Randy Moss-esque. And if you know what Randy Moss-esque can mean, when you put the X on it, you're not saying that he's better than the guy. You're not saying that he is the guy, but he just basically did something that reminded me of Randy Moss. So Justin Jefferson stats, eight receptions for 92 yards, no touchdowns. I mean, it is what it is. Jalen Naylor, man, Jalen Naylor came through today. Coming into this game, I kind of felt this might have been a TJ Hockenson game. I mean, I've been forcing that narrative because I feel TJ needs to get a touchdown before the season's over. But we got the Lions next week, and maybe he want to get back at his old team. So hopefully he can get a touchdown next week. But this became a game to where basically I felt that the Green Bay Packers defense did a great job of limiting Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. And you can see for what Jalen Naylor did today was basically like he was wide open on a lot of plays down the field. And that's the kind of stuff that your third receiver has to take advantage of. And also TJ Hockenson had a great play in the middle of the field. So that's just something like this offense can do to where it's like if you try to take away the running game of Aaron Jones, you try to take away Justin Jefferson, and you try to limit Jordan Addison, we can still beat you with other players because this team is full of playmakers. So, get another stats today, 5 receptions, 81 yards. And Jordan Addison is right behind there with, 6 receptions, 69 yards, and a touchdown. And Jay Miller had a touchdown. So, I mean, this is great. This is great. So, we got one more game left. I want to see where the stats is. I know Jefferson already got a G already. Jefferson is already at 1,479 yards. I hope that our boy Jordan Addison can get his 1,000-yard, season this season. Let's see where he's at right now. He's at 875 right now. Come on, man. Let him go off. Let him go off next week, please. Just let him go off next week. For real. So, that's what it is. Them are my top performers on the offensive side of the ball. So, on the defensive side of the ball, I feel like Blake Ash was everywhere. He made a lot of key tackles. I'm not going to really talk about, interception or, stuff like that because we didn't have any, or the sacks. It's like I just felt the defense played solid. But just like I said before, I got a little bit growing concern about, things happening at the end of the game. But I kind of feel like I can understand like what that is, So they're my top performers. But let's just get into this season, talk about this season just for a little bit, man. Like it just feels good to be a Viking fan right now. I'm like extremely excited for this team. I mean, I'm really optimistic on what this team can do in the playoffs. I mean, who would have thought we would have been here, 14-2. I mean, I know I say it every year, like when people ask me who gonna win a Super Bowl, I say my Vikings. But this year I can actually say it with more confidence, like, yeah, look at how this team is playing. And I really gotta tip my hat to Kevin O'Connell and his whole coaching staff and the way they basically, brought in guys off the streets with multiple free agents, Sam Darnold, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jonathan Grenard, Blake Cashman, all these guys, and a couple of the rookies, that was drafted and the young players on the team. Like this team is really moving at all cylinders, and this team is really gelling at the right time. And I'm just saying, as a Viking fan, it feels good. And we might not know what the future holds, for the rest of the season or how far we're going to go. But this is going to be one of these seasons that I'm going to actually remember for a long time because it's just been so exciting. This is something to where it's like, you know, we talk about 2017 with Case Keenum. I just really feel like this is the season that the Vikings can actually build on to be that perennial playoff team for years to come. Basically, to show the national media, to show these other teams, like, look, we're building something over here, and this Viking team, we're here to stay. This isn't, Mike Zimmer's, staff to where we're basically making the playoffs every other year. I mean, I feel like this is something that we're building to where we're going to be a staple in the NFC and especially a staple in the NFC North. Like that's just something I've been just been needing to say. But looking forward, Minnesota Vikings have one game left. Like I said earlier, they will be playing against the Detroit Lions going to Detroit. It's going to be a big game. Sunday Night Football. I know for sure we are going to do a crossover with Detroit Fan Report. When I get the details of when we're going to get it, it's probably going to be me, Zoe, a couple of other guys, Lefty, Purple and Gold Bars, whatever. That's going to, do a crossover with those guys. Can't wait for that. Those things been fun. We've been doing that since last season. But to get back to the game that's going to actually be played on the field, like looking forward to that. It's like I really wanted this. I really did. I believed in this team from the jump. I really wanted them to make sure they stacked enough wins, kept pace with the Detroit Lions to basically where the Week 18 game you're playing for the NFC North title and you're playing for the conference for that number one seed. And I really feel like if the Vikings actually get the number one seed, I'm not saying they have an easier route to the playoffs or easier route to the Super Bowl because they still have to win the games. But what I'm saying is it's like got nagging injuries for certain guys. You got Harrison Smith, who's an older guy. I just feel like you can just sit back, and just have the bye, have that 1 week to kind of figure some things out. And you don't have to leave Minnesota at all until you got to go to New Orleans. That's what I want right there. Like that's why I really want the number one slot in the NFC. So they won't have to leave Minnesota at all. Like that US Bank Stadium will be pumping for all these playoff games. And when you get the number one spot, get the bye, all you need is 2 games, baby. Divisional round and a conference title round. All you gotta do is win 2 games. And I'm looking forward to that. And that Detroit Lion game, I mean, Detroit's dealing with a lot of injuries. My hat's off to Detroit. Like y'all know on this channel, I don't really talk bad about certain teams until some people come at me the wrong way and I gotta cook their ass. But Detroit been building this thing for the past couple of years, and they are a great team. They are a good team. Even though with the injuries, they still have managed to continue to win games. They still have managed to keep their morale up as a team. And that's one thing that people don't talk about a lot either. Is like you have a rash of injuries, sometimes the morale of the team kind of gets down. But Detroit has continued to keep on going. And hats off to them for that, And just to go back to something that they built, they have a nice roster over there. They basically have the one of, if not the best offensive line or one of the best offensive lines throughout the whole NFL. So that's something that we have to worry about too. I mean, we only lost to them by like 2 points the first game. So now we can get our get back. They beat us in our house. Now we got to go kick their ass in Detroit. So that's gonna be like game of the week. I mean, it's can't wait. And as Lion fans, I don't want no damn excuses about, hey, we got injuries or whatever. It is what it is. You already know that's how football is. So that's it for me right now. I mean, I really appreciate y'all. I really wanted to get back into it. I've been seeing a lot of crazy things on social media, people talking crazy, kind of encouraged me to get back into this and give you guys that real unfiltered opinion to where, I'm going to stand on what I believe in. And, it is what it is. And I got a couple of topics I want to break down, before the Lions game. Because like I said before, I will let you guys know when we're going to be going live for that Lion crossover. But you guys already know how I ended. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Hit the notification bell, like the videos. Follow me on all social media platforms. Just to let y'all know right now, I don't know what's going to be happening with TikTok. So I'm kind of limiting what I'm doing on TikTok. I'm going to start putting more and more content through Facebook. So, main social media accounts will be, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X. That's going to be the main things because I really don't know what's going on with Twitter. It just is what it is. But y'all know how I ended. Thank you. Go, man.